The US Supreme Court will hear a crucial case on November 5 that will test whether President Trump lawfully used emergency powers to impose tariffs on major trading partners. The decision could actually reshape presidential trade authority and global economic relations. A tiny toy maker, several businesses and US states have sued Trump for using emergency powers to impose tariffs on much of the world. Lower courts have ruled Trump's use of the IEEPA laws to tariff the world as illegal, quote unquote. Businesses, in fact, are once again set to argue that most of the president's tariffs should be struck down. A ruling against Trump would undercut his ability to use tariffs as an all-purpose tool to get concessions from trading partners, and that would also mean refunds exceeding $100 billion and the complexity of returning the tariff money collected. What happens at the Supreme Court post-Wednesday seems more likely to eventually require an update of the history books. Analysts say we won't know immediately whether the court's justices will rule for Trump or decide he has violated the US Constitution. The law on which the arguments will focus was passed by the Congress in 1977. However, the plaintiff's interpretation of the law is that it gives the Congress rather than president's responsibility for levying taxes and tariffs. And while the US administration's take is that the president has all the rights to use it, Trump will not be attending the Supreme Court hearing on Wednesday. The president previously said that he had an obligation to go to oral arguments in the tariff case at the top court. However, he has now reversed course on attending the high court arguments. Still, Trump doubled down on the case's importance and his predictions of disaster if the judges forced him to abandon his most sweeping tariffs. In a social post on Monday, he said America would be very rich if the case is ruled in his favor. However, the president insisted that the US would become almost a third world nation if his tariffs were deemed illegal by the Supreme Court.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.